I like doing things that I've never done before. Everesting is this thing we do. You go up and down the same trail till you reach the elevation of Everest, 29,032 feet. I'm Hillary Allen. I am an ultra runner for the North Face. Green Mountain has been this integral piece to my start of trail running, to my recovery, and my return to trail running. Boulder skyline, when you come down and you descend into Boulder, you see this beautiful flatirons, and Green Mountain, it's the center of the Boulder skyline. In my recovery from my accident in 2017, my coach, he had me do kind of a push up Green Mountain. At the end of my workout, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I was, working hard. He just sent me a screenshot. I think I had gotten a crown on a section. What? What is that? Is that me? He's like, yeah, go. You're fit. You can do this. You need to start believing in yourself.
You have this contradiction of being the best version of yourself, the fastest version of yourself, the fittest version of yourself, which does not mean that you're the healthiest version of yourself. It's a razor's edge between health and fitness. You get to the point where to get that speed, you're giving away so much about your health, your physical health or your mental health.
I do remember a particular run where something didn't feel right. In training for this, I ended up breaking my foot. So I've kind of had to start over from ground zero. It wasn't until I got an MRI a couple weeks later where it showed not only a fracture, but a displaced fracture. That's pretty concerning for me because I'm a mountain runner. I go uphill, which is the ball of your foot. After talking with the doctor, we decided that surgery was the best option. The first thing that I thought to myself was that I don't know if I could do this again. I love to do this thing. I love to run. I love to move my body. I love to be outside so much. When that is taken away from me, there's this grief. There's loss associated with it.
And I also hate it because I'm jealous of all these people who can use their bodies. Pretty defeated right now.
I'm gonna have to learn how to re-walk and run again? But what position does that put my calf and the dorsiflexion if I'm literally not moving this? And it's my foot, not my ankle. But what am I supposed to do?
Hillary, get to work.
Okay.
Get to work healing.
I'm a little bit intimidated by the recovery process. It's, scary to have to learn how to run again. In 2017, I was on the final end of my World Skyrunning Series at this race in Tromsø, Norway, and I ended up falling off of this ridge 150 feet. I shouldn't be here. It was that bad. I don't know how I survived. I had broken 14 bones. It was pretty humbling. I had never broken a bone up until that point. I feel like I was just scratching the surface of my potential, and then it was all just taken away from me.
Yes. Perfect. Go ahead and write this way. How's your day going? Good so far. How's your grip?
Not having a lot of pain with anything right now, right?
No.
Okay. Move that foot around. Bring your toes down all the way. Pretty good. Pull them up. Okay. Yeah, you work on the stretching and doing all those kind of PT exercises. That still is healing. Your x-ray actually looks really cool.
Really cool. Why?
Because you see all this new bone coming.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not done. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? But it is looking good.
Okay.
In fact, there's no shortage of bone coming at all.
I started really embracing cycling. It was really cool to see how I could get stronger on a bike and how I could, push more watts and do workouts. And I felt like I was getting really fit. I love combining now, gravel cycling and running. Strapping up my bike with my running shoes, with, all this gear, riding to a trail, and then doing a big run, and then riding back. The hardest thing with sport, it's easy to get caught up in your self-identity and your self-worth by something that you do. What I was working throughout the recovery was learning who I really was and learning that that was enough just as it was without running. The physical recovery, even with all the injuries that I had, that was easy. My body was gonna heal. It was. Finding the motivation to get up every day, finding the motivation within myself, knowing that I had self-worth even if I could not ever run another step again, takes incredible work. Green has been there with me as I'm recovering and getting stronger, preparing for a race when I feel ready, and then, when I'm totally wrecked and have no idea if I'm ever gonna run again. The cool thing about Green Mountain is that it's in my backyard, so it's not going anywhere. So it's just whenever I'm healthy enough to get back on the trails and do something like that. Also Everesting on a bike, that'd be sweet. I've had to reinvent myself several times. Since then, I've been able to make new goals and accomplish things that I never even would have thought possible.